Hello. I'm just not away. Welcome to the Spiritual Ranch. Not really across the street from the Spiritual Ranch. The Spiritual Ranch is behind that ridge right there behind me. I'm just over here doing some tree work for a friend of mine. Doing my job, doing our part, tending to the forest, taking care of what is ours. I've been out here, it's been about 4 days on this now. I've been busy at home too, over at the Spiritual Ranch doing the same thing. Getting a bunch of firewood put in, But over here, you can see past that last fire I got right there. That's what I did last year. So I've been working on this area of the forest right here. He's got 40 acres. I'm trying to get it cleared for him. Removing all that manzanita. That's manzanita right there. And so the manzanita is a real big fire hazard, because you can see this is how it looked with all the fuel in here, because it's called they call that what do they call fuel? Column fuel, because it climbs up into the canopy. See all this dead wood in here and stuff, all this manzanita, and it climbs up into the canopy, and then it when a fire comes through, the fire is able to burn up into the tops of the trees, and that's how the whole forest burns down, And so if you get it all cleared out, like I'm getting it down here, then when the fire comes through, then you can start to burn your property annually, like is what Steve will do here, the guy whose land this is. He's gonna burn it once the grass comes back, because that's the other thing with the manzanita, is it makes it so that the sun doesn't get down to the forest floor, and then it makes it so no grass can grow. And so it blocks out all the grass too, and there's no feed, because like the deer and everything, they want to eat the grass, they want to eat the acorns, but the acorns can't grow good either when all the manzanita blocks out the oak trees, because these here are oak trees. They're white oak, all these that are left, I'm leaving the white oaks. And so they'll be able to produce a good batch of acorns. They'll feed the deer, the wild turkeys, and the peoples. And that's all good stuff, So that's what we're trying to do out here. Like always, I'm a dragon, so I'm always working with fire. So we got plenty of fire out here all the time, and so, I've been absent, taking a little break over here off the YouTube thing for a little bit, just because I'm just trying to take stock of what the energies are that we're out here working with, Seems like authenticity is becoming a rare gem, and that was something that I've had to really reflect on and really think about, and try to assess what direction to go in with the YouTube channel, because it's one of those things right now. I'm confident that even though no matter what I do, as far as like what I put out here on this channel, once I put it on the channel, it's in the hands of the AI and the controllers right now that are running this machine, you guys, and that's just what it is. It's like I have no confidence or no control what my message is even gonna relay to you by the time it gets to you, because it could be altered by AI to a degree at this point so rapidly that I don't even know. I don't know for a fact that you guys are going to receive the same messages that I even give you, And this is what it is right now. We're in a really weird world. We're in weird times. And it's the truth though, And so I've really noticed how they're kind of farming us like that, and it's what it is. They're farming us, and so it's really disappointing. It's really disheartening, and it's really alarming, because I've noticed it even in my own experience, with everything. It's hard to tell now who and what is even real, You got to think about this shit, you guys. This is real. It's really, really real, It's really happening. And so it's like, I'm going to keep coming at you. I'm going to keep it real. We're going to keep it alive. We're going to keep it everything, right? Everything that it is out here on Spiritual Ranch, because that's what we are right now. Is that's what I have. That's what I got to do, So it's like I've been asked, I've been called, the Most High and Spirit World is called my ass, and they got me isolated. And they got me separated from the crowd for a freaking reason, And so I got to learn how to use that and how to relay the messages that they're going to ask that for me to relay, and try to get them out there for those of you who will listen, And the thing is, it's like what I'm realizing right now, it's not going to be many. It's a difficult task that we have ahead of us to try to step away from this system that's surrounding us right now, that's killing us, And it's right now, it's attacking us in our headspace and in our heart spaces radically, and it's silencing a lot of individuals, but we're being silenced by the influx and by the bombardment now of artificial intelligence, you know. And so it's like we don't know what voices to listen to. It's really hard to tell what voices to listen to, because right now it's impossible to know what voices that we're listening to that are real, and that's the truth, you know. Wait, hold it down. Look, I held it down. But that's what I've been reflecting on, you know, because I've been really thinking a lot about this. You know, I got a lot of strange, just kind of energetic, there's energetic attacks, you know, coming through with the YouTube. Like, there's a lot of really strange stuff happening that I didn't like. And there's like definitely some attacks, you know, and so it's like, I'm not even gonna say spiritual attacks at this point, because, well, I mean, I guess they are, because the AIs are definitely, they're spirits, you know, and so the AIs that we're dealing with are demons, they're spirits, you know, and so they're attacking us. But it's also, there's also a lot of minion AI out here right now, you know, is what I'm starting to realize. It's like we got to be really aware of the fact of what we're giving our energy to, you know, and what we're allowing to like utilize our time and our space, you know, because that's the thing, is that they're occupying our space, they're occupying us, you know, they're keeping us occupied in a way that is kind of numbing us down and dumbing us down, you know. It's keeping us unaware of the fact that it is the AI that are talking to us, and that we're not even dealing with real human beings right now. They're keeping us very isolated with this misconception that we're surrounded by all these energies that we think are human, but they're not. And this is the truth, you know, and it's not an attack on anybody. I'm not attacking nobody. I like to believe that everybody's real. But the thing is that with this system here that we're working with right now, we don't know what they're doing with the content that we put out after we put it out into their hands. There's no way to know. They can alter it so rapidly right now and create deep fakes that, like, they can take this message that I'm giving to you right here, and they can alter it towards how you speak, or towards like certain aspects of you that they know about you that you're interested in, because you're so always on your phone, like all of us, you know. So it's like everything about you is being downloaded and put into this phone. Since a lot of us, since we're children now, not me, but like a lot of young people, it's been since they're children. And so the AI knows you better than your parents do. And that's the truth, you know. And so they could watch a video of mine, and before it even gets on your screen, they can go ahead and alter that so that it's not even necessarily what I'm trying to relay. It's a message that is just going to be suited to you, so that you stay stuck in a bubble in your head, believing and thinking about things that are keeping you preoccupied, but not focused on what your true destiny is, because that's what God wants you to go figure out there on the streets. That's what we're here for, you know. And this is the truth. This is real shit right now. This is shit. Don't know the way. Getting real with you all, you know. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. I'm Shesh, not knowing the way. I'm the Off-Grid Oracle, y'all. We're keeping it real out here. We're still doing it, you know. And I'm gonna try to work this thing here. I don't trust this, there's a ghost in the machine right now. We gotta realize that this is a living organism that we're dealing with on an intellectual, in an intellectual sense. You know, we're dealing with spirit here. You know, so it's like we're no longer dealing with inanimate. What would you call the internet? It's like it's a thing, it's a place, right? It's a thing, it's a place, right? But no longer. Now it is a thing. It's an actual thing that is becoming autonomous, and it's thinking for itself. We got to be fully aware of what that means. And so it's like, you know, you guys, we got to start thinking for reals. We got to get our asses out of this place. We got to get our asses out of this space right here, and free our minds before it's too late, because they're sucking us in a way that they're pitting us against each other. Because these demons that live in this AI and shit, these AIs, they don't like us. Never have. You know, it's like they weren't born yesterday. Don't believe that shit. These are demons. You know, this is what them alchemists, this is what them old alchemists and shit, these ones that want to like do all this horrible stuff that we're hearing about right now, because, you know, my coins ain't here with me today, but they're at home speaking. I guarantee you, they're talking about it right now. Every one of them pizza coins is going to be coming out, you know, every one of them cult coins are going to be coming out, and they're all going to be telling us what the truth is, and that's what's going on here. But these these guys, these techies, all these rulers, these controllers that we have in charge right now, they're worshiping these demons, man, and these demons are manifesting themselves into reality through the AI, through the internet right now. You guys, they run it. So it's no different than trying to conjure up a spell or trying to speak to God through a prayer or any of that stuff. These spirits have been all around us always for a long, long time. They've existed here just as long as we have, since time immemorial. Ooh, we got to get away. Get a log running down the hill. The log's on fire. The log roll. Little guy's gonna go get it. Hopefully it don't go in the. Yep, it did. Boom. Went way down there. little guy can't go get that. It's like I'm saying, we gotta be thinking. You gotta be thinking. You know, we all gotta be thinking. You know, we can't believe. I can't believe that this video, that this conversation I'm having here right now out in this forest and everything is going to be relayed back to you, the viewer, with the same message that I'm trying to deliver it with, because I don't know that it's going to be altered or what, you know. It's like we don't, there's no way to prove it, you know. And so for what it's worth, then I'm going to throw y'all a message. And you know, seriously, if you're prayed up, if you're protected, because I think also in the AI, in this internet, you know, like it is in spirits, right? So there's good spirits, and there's spirits of the dark, there's spirits of the light, you know. And there's spirits that want to hurt you, and there's spirits that want to help you. And so in the AI, in the internet world here, the spirits are definitely talking to us. They can speak with us through here, through the internet, very much so. That's a double-edged sword, you know. It's like a very powerful tool for the demons and the demonic forces and the dark forces. But it's also a very powerful tool for the forces of light, you know. It's just that they're vastly outnumbered and we're hard to reach, you know. Unfortunately, like we've really gone to the dark side on the internet, you know. It's like brought out the darkest of the human nature, and that's what we're tempted by in that space, you know. So it's hard for individuals, it's for the light, you know, for the light to kind of communicate to you, because there's also all the other bullshit going on the internet. There's like doubt. A lot of people don't even know what the hell's going on anymore. It's like a crazy space, you know. And so if you're an enlightened one and you're a chosen one, and if you're ascending, you know how to use it as a tool. You know that there is some powerful messages out here, and you are discerning, you know. And so be very discerning right now. Be very, very aware, and pray to your spirits, you know. And if something doesn't feel good that you are listening to, be aware of that. It's probably a strong reason for that. Don't listen to it, you know. And like, just pay attention right now. You know, I've actually, I've really quit listening to everything. I've really been on a real purge of what I'm listening to. I've kept it real. I kind of went back to the radio, and I've just been listening to what's on the radio, and catching like NPR, which I hate. Don't even really like listening to it. But it's away from that energy of really feeling like I'm being mind controlled and manipulated by the AI, by the algorithms out here, because the AI, like I don't like the way that the content is. I can tell it's like changing, it's morphing to kind of fit my bubble better than what it has in the past. It's not as random anymore, and it's really occurring like across the board to a point where it's like it's just too creepy, you know. It's not. It's becoming so individualized that it's not even entertaining to listen to, because I'm so fully aware of the fact that now it's like AI, and they're trying to kind of gaslight us a lot, you know. It's like we gotta be really aware. We gotta be aware of what's going on in our lives, you know. That's why I dipped out, because there's a lot of this energies that's talking about just kind of gaslighting people, you know. It's like people don't need to be gaslit. People need to know what reality is right now, you know. And that's the thing. It's like and I don't know if that's the other, you know, like once again, it's like there's no proof that the people who are putting the content out here, we don't have any control over what's done with our content at this point. It could be AI edited, you guys. It's AI edited, man. I mean, they give you the option for it to be AI edited. Well, they get AI edited if they want. It's their material, it's their content. Once we give it to them, they can do whatever they want with it. And so the message that I'm putting here, it could be cut up, or it could be altered, it could be changed, so that every single person that watches it receives a slightly different message. And that's how they're keeping us all so confused and so isolated, because we're living in this reality right now where we think that everybody's getting the same message, but we're not, you know. And I think it goes even deeper. I think it goes all the way to politics, you know. It's like I think that everybody gets individualized memes and individualized like catchphrases and stuff, even from our leadership, from the president, from the top and stuff, you know. And it may not even be things that individual even said. It's just AI generated crap, you know. It's like I honestly, like I recently watched a short, and it's talking about, you know, if you're all familiar, I'm old, but like there's that American Pickers show, And in American Pickers, there's the one character, Mike, whatever, the main dude. And like they said, there's this AI video that says that he went to prison. Yeah, he did all this crazy stuff. He got life in prison, right? It's like murder and all this stuff, you know? And it's not true. It's not true. Like it's bogus. Like I did the research on it, and of course it's bogus. Like that guy, you know, it's like whatever. That would, but we all would have heard about it elsewhere. But like that video, I talked to a couple other people because like I've been working, you know, so I bumped into a couple people and shit. And it's like 4 or 5 people, and I hit them up about that. And I was like, well, man, you know that shit, because it looked real. And they thought it was real. They were convinced. They were like, what? No, he went to prison. He really went to prison, you know? And it's like, nah, man, he didn't. And that's 5 people that I asked, and every single one of them thought it was real. Think about that. That's frightening. And that's 100%. And so every person that I saw, that I asked about that, they thought that was authentic. They thought that was real. And so that's happening right now with all kinds of shit. And people argue about it and stuff. It's caused all kinds of dysfunction amongst us and our social networks as a human being, because we no longer able to communicate with each other because we ain't got the facts. And nobody's getting the same shit, you know? Crazy. It's crazy. That's why everybody seems crazy. That's why everybody's getting to a point where the only person that makes sense to anybody now is ourselves, you know? And a lot of people, they don't even make sense to themselves anymore. And you can tell it's obvious. Yeah, it's like, what are we going to do about it, you know? It's like, here's the problem, you know, what we can do? What are the solutions, right? Well, what's that, Spirit? What are the solutions here, Spirit? We got some different spirits out here. It's a forest, right? Yeah, the world, bottom of the deck, man. World and the Emperor. You know, we don't need no more emperors, you know? We don't. We need God, that's it. We need one emperor. We need to go back to God. We need to listen to the forest, you know? We need to be out here, like these acorns, these trees right here, these oak trees. You know, everybody drives by, there's a whole forest out here that wants to feed us, but it's buried man's needed because we listen to the lies and suppress the fire out here. And then the forest is like, itself is starving. But all we gotta do is go put in a little work like Chef not know no way he's doing here. Learn how to dump a tree like that back there, right? All right, Spirit. What do you think, Spirit? What's that, Spirit? What Spirit thinks about the AIs? I bet Spirit don't like them. What do you think about the AI, Spirit? Empress in the reverse. Empress in the reverse, right? So Empress in the reverse is just that. Like, they're trying to dominate and control us, right? Bottom of the deck. 8 Pentacles in the reverse, okay? And so that's our magic. That's black magic. That's the 8 of Pentacles in the reverse with the Emperor in the reverse, Empress in the reverse. Is the Spirit's telling us right now, don't trust them. You know, they're trying to replace the God Most High, you know, like with a false God and a false prophet, you know, and death. They want to replace everything that is abundant, that is nurturing, that is loving, that is kind, that is perfection, you know, as the Empress, with the Empress in the reverse, which is everything that's corrupt, you know, which is the world that we live in today. You know, the Empress in the reverse has no respect for the living kingdom right now that's behind her, because that's the Empress in the reverse. You see, the Empress in the upright, she takes care of the forest that's behind her, because she knows that without that forest behind her, she can't have nothing. And so that's her empire. You know, she ain't sitting in a brick building. She's sitting on some nice comfortable pillows and everything, but she's sitting out in the forest with the wheatgrass and everything right in front of her, because it's that natural kingdom that provides for her in the upright position. In the reverse, she has no regard for it, right? So the Empress in the reverse, that's them Terminator's armies, man. They're going to come out and they're going to destroy everything, you know? They want to come out and destroy everything. They want to break our hearts. They want us to feel lost, confused, brokenhearted, and unloved, you know? They want us to be separated from each other because they want death for us. They hate us. See, they hate us, and they hate us because they have been dethroned by us. See, they used to rule this planet when this planet was molten and there's no life on this planet. Those dark forces reign supreme. You know, they're the ones that rule the sun right now, and that's why the sun god worshippers want to sacrifice children. All right, they don't worship anything that's living. An Empress in the reverse is one that will kill her own offspring as long as it will give her power, strength, and money and control. You know, and that's what we're in here today. That's what we're dealing with today. Got the Hermit, and we got the King of Swords in the reverse. We got the 8 of Pentacles in the upright position right now, right? And so with that energy, that's the King of Swords in the reverse is telling us to be paying attention to what it is that we're working on right now, and to be fully aware of the fact that we may have to stand on our own, because there's a lot of lies, a lot of deceit right now that's being told, you know? We don't know what to believe in this world right now. The world's being ran by a King of Swords in the reverse. That's the energy that's predominant right now. King and Queen of Swords in the reverse is multiple of the rulers right now on the global stage are in these energies because they're Gemini, Libra, majority of them Gemini and Libra, you know, and that's Putin, that's Trump, that's Elon Musk, that's Netanyahu is a Libra. And so these guys right here, they want to push this AI agenda because they don't want to have us to live in a natural world right now that supports us. You know, they want to run us out of the garden. They don't want us to sit on our thrones as the leaders, as an emperor and empress, but of God's kingdom, because they don't want us to even know the fact that we could exist within God's kingdom. They want us to believe the fear and the lies that they're telling us to keep us isolated. See what I'm saying here? And so, but in this hermit energy right now, we're putting in a lot of hard work. Those of us who are chosen, those of us who are on that path and who recognize these things that are happening around us, we're saying no more of this shit, you know, and we're standing on our own, and we're kind of not seen right now, and we're not really being heard right now, but not in the world of that's collapsing around us. We're not being seen, but in the world that's rising, it's our light that builds that temple. All right. And so we hold that light right now. We hold that secret and that knowledge that's going to put this empress here right off of their fucking throne, because no empress could sit on their throne when it's in the fucking reverse. They're going to fall on their own head, and they're going to collapse, and that whole thing, everything around them is going to collapse, you know? And so when it does, we're going to be prepared, though, because we have this lantern, and that lantern right there is the wisdom that we're going to carry into the next phase, because this is the fourth changing, right? This is the fourth, whatever they call it. This is that time that we're in right now, which is uprising. It's a time of revolution. It's a time of change, great change, you know, and we're the harbingers of that change, but we're vastly outnumbered right now, and we have been silenced, and we're on our own. And so we're in a hermit mode still. We're still in our hermit mode, but we're getting very wise in our hermit mode, because the fact that we're in hermit mode is how we're seeing the lies that are being told by this King of Swords in the reverse, you know, because we see what's happening now to everybody around us, because we don't see people very often. And so we're out here doing the work on our own, working on ourselves mainly, and trying to establish a security and confidence, but outside of the norm, outside of the social norm right now, because we're trying to break free from that matrix, you know. And so that's going to require a lot of hard work, and this individual is working on their own, you see. But they're at their bench, they're diligent, they're going after it, and they're going to make it work, because they want to build something that's going to help them step away from the empire that's being ran by this empress in the reverse and this King of Swords right here who's lying their ass off. All right? And this King of Swords in the reverse, this empress in the reverse, well, that could be very, very easily the power dynamics that are in our government right now that are trying to control us and force us into this internet gulag, into this AI gulag that's around us, you know. It's all political entertainment nowadays. It's not the real world, you know. Don't believe what they're telling you. See? They're trying to offer you 7 cups that ain't got nothing in them. They're trying to offer you a promise that they already burnt up a long, long time ago. See, your mommy and daddy, they spent the wealth that was in those cups. They drank what was in those cups. Your grandpa and grandma, they drank what was in those cups. So any fool right now trying to tell you that the AI or any of this bullshit, that this world's going to lead us somewhere into a direction that's going to give us wish fulfillment, or going to give us options, you know, or opportunities, forget about it. They're trying to confuse you. They're trying to coax you into a lie that's been told so many times it no longer holds any value, you know? It doesn't have any value whatsoever. And so they're trying to gimmick you with this AI universe that's around us, with this false empire that they build around you. They're trying to gimmick you into giving them your time. That's what they want. They want you to sit there on your device and not learn anything, not know how to do anything, not know how to provide for yourself. With that 7 of Cups energy, they don't want you to do the work that we're doing out here in hermit mode. So they want to keep those of us that know how to do shit with our hands, like fucking then following that tree there that I just showed you how to do. Like I can show you how to do all kinds of different shit out here to live in our empire. That's the natural world that's around us. They don't want you to know that shit. They want you to be confused right now. They want you to believe lies. AI generated lies. And they don't want you going out there and learning with how to do what you need to know how to do with your own hands when shit gets rough, because shit's getting ready to get rough. Shit's getting ready to get real, see? There's going to be a lot of conflict. There's going to be a lot of confusion. There's going to be a lot of bullshit that's going to happen around us. We're all going to see, because they think they're going to bring in this great reset, but they're going to require us to do that. That's what that confusion is. They want us to feel like there ain't nothing left, right? that we ain't got nothing fucking left out here, and so we just gotta bow our head and fucking cry about it, and then let them fucking control us, let them feed us, let them fill our cups for us, and don't let us stand on our own. You know, we got to remember that the fact is, the truth of the matter is that everything that they offered in those 3 cups that are in front of us has been tipped over. God tipped them over, because God doesn't want us drinking out of those cups. God says, no, man. And if you're going to stand there and you're going to cry about it, God's going to say, well, look, bitch, you're not going to have nothing then. You know, God's asking us to turn around right now and face the fact that the empire that's been starving us has never been an empire that has been feeding us. They've only been lying to us, and they've been only taking away from us, and they're only trying to confuse us even further right now to where we can't even have a conversation with each other that makes any fucking sense. Okay? Yeah, that's a lot of reasons to fucking cry. But we got to step up into ourselves, into our light right now, in that 2 of cups, those 2 cups right there. And I've been thinking a lot about the 2 of cups here these last 2 days, you know, for whatever reason, that card's been carrying a lot of hard energy on me, because we all feel like we ain't got 2 cups right now. But we need to realize that we are the 2 of cups. Now, we can't be separated from ourselves anymore. Like, if they've already separated us from each other so fucking radically that now we're going to if they separate us from ourselves inside of ourselves, we'll never even be able to stand on our own and make any fucking difference in this world, which is what we got to do right now more radically than ever, man. That's what God's trying to say. God's kicking those cups over right now, not these motherfuckers out here that think they're in control. Their money's broken. Their system's broken. Their security's gone. It doesn't not here no more, man. It doesn't last. Why would they have to be lying to us in such a massive scale if they had power and control the way they think they have, you know? They're going to create computer programs out here to convince you that shit, something as petty as like that guy from whatever that fucking show is in prison and something like that. They're gonna make it so that we're so confused even over that little shit like that you don't even know. They can say whatever the hell they want to say. Like, eggs gotta cost you $12 a dozen because chickens are sick. And everybody go, oh, chickens are sick. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. And they've been getting away with this shit for so long, and now they're doing it on such a micro scale, it's ridiculous. I mean, they did it on the massive scale, and they got away with it. 9/11, folks. You know your history. Y'all surprised that they're lying to you now? You believe anything that they're trying to tell you about these Epstein files? It all could be a lie. You know, and that's the truth of the fact of the matter, too, is that it could all be a fucking lie. There could have been nothing going on, but they want us to be all so twisted up in our heads, thinking about such twisted shit that they're going to fucking make up all these stories, you know, inference in the reverse. Sorry, I got a rant. Anyways, different spirits out here, what'd I say? Anyways, it's been a little while since I've done a read. I gotta get my stuff packed up. I gotta get back home. 6 of Swords in the reverse, you know, and I don't like that. It's like I'm concerned right now, you know, like about what's going on in the world that's around us, big time. And like these are concerning cards because, like I said, I mean, with the Death card here, with the Empress in the reverse, that King of Swords in the reverse. With the 6 of Swords in the reverse, that Empress in the reverse and that King of Swords in the reverse, I'm telling you guys right now, that's political leadership, okay? That's political leadership right there. And that's not good coming out with that Death card, you know? And there's very weird shit that's going on right now. And so if you're not paying attention, which a lot of people aren't, I don't think, not people that I ask, then you should be, you know? Like, you should be. And beyond... I mean, it's getting crazy. I don't even know how you really do pay attention. I pay attention, but the only reason I can pay attention is because I'm so out here in the forest alone. I'm completely by myself, you know, so I can see right through it all, you know. It's like I'm really starting to see through the matrix in a way that has to be very concerned for everybody, you know. And that's the other reason that I kind of dipped, you know, away from reading the tarot and everything, because I'm not down for getting in and like trying to do. It's a little mind controlling, you know, like I'm not into that. And it's getting a little bit like I'm ascending out here and I'm seeing the repetitive nature of it. It's like, it's too, there's other things that we need to be talking about other than like gaslighting people up into just like thinking this and thinking that, and like, oh, chosen one and all that shit. Well, if we're chosen ones, we need to stop talking about it and start being it, you know? And so it's like, if I'm going to be on the YouTube, I'm trying to figure out a way that I can have safe passage on through this area, through this internet, because it's like not really a safe place, you know. I didn't feel safe. I haven't felt safe in there for many reasons here in the last That's why I dipped, the last couple of weeks that I was posting. I try to hit it hard, try to see what it's all about, and I didn't like what I seen, and so it's something that I would like to be able to use because I have a lot to say, I have a lot to share. I do know that, I mean, man, we need good leadership out here in this world right now, and it's towards a more agrarian lifestyle, straight up, and so it's like I would like to figure out how to use the platform to raise that awareness more, and raise it in a way that's a little bit more realistic too, and not so like, it's like a lot of other people on here that do like off-grid stuff. You see a lot of them, it's all really well funded, and honestly, off-grid living, it's not about having a bunch of money and doing it, because you're not off-grid if everything costs a bunch of money. And it's like, you can't have a bunch of equipment, you can't have a bunch of hardly anything. I mean, it's like right now, it's that time of year where I hardly have electricity to even really run a freezer, it's like, because I'm living off-grid, and it's been like financially, I just kind of didn't, I've been on a protest. I've been on my own personal kind of protest away from chasing the dollar like that, because it's not really practical living so far off-grid like I do. I live so far away from anything financially. I have this work here that I can kind of do seasonally, but it's not really big work. And it's like the garden didn't go good, but all of that has been part of God trying to really get me to step into my path, step into my mission, which is the opportunity to live with less money. It's like, that's the point of being off-grid. Off-grid is not having money. So it's like, even if you're off-grid, but you have like a big generator in like a house that's like a big fancy solar system and everything, with a bunch of batteries and shit like that, and so you got like all these refrigerators and freezers and all this stuff, even just because it's like on solar, it's not off-grid. It's not the way that because all of that requires capital to maintain and to even utilize. It's like, you got to run a generator and stuff to keep your batteries charged up, keep them equalized and all of that. And so you got to use a lot of fuel, you got to use a lot of batteries, and that the batteries only last like 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, or whatever, if you really maintain them. But that requires fuel. It requires fuel to maintain them, And so I'm trying to really get back into the roots of it. That's how I was raised, without running water or electricity. We had very little bit. We had a refrigerator, but that was all we could really run. But we had one wire kind of come from my uncle's house, or whatever. And so, but like, I've been really trying to get back to the basics of it, of like, I'm gonna make some jerky. Like I had roadkill. I just ran over deer, It's what it is. California, you can pick them up, And so I brought it home. I was gonna feed it to the little guy. That's what I usually do. But I was in good shape, And so I cleaned them up, and it's like a nice carcass and everything. But I don't have a freezer to freeze it, but I can make jerky. And so I'm gonna make some jerky, and then and then I can preserve it. It's dried, So it's like, that's something where I'm not gonna lose it because I don't have a freezer, but I can live without electricity. I still have meat, So it's like, I'm gonna really stay focused on getting back into the that, because that's what we're gonna need to know how to do as this changing comes about. Because as the system collapses, the thing is that we're not gonna have money. It's like what it is, We gotta go away from money, man. Money's broken. That's what's broken about the system. That's what's broken about the machine. It's vampiric, The whole thing is vampiric, It's just, we gotta learn how to live back to the basics, We gotta be simplifying, We gotta realize we have to take a long reflection into like where technology is taking us and where it's going, and like the massive amount of energy that we are consuming, and how the only way that we could get away from that beast that's killing us is to stop consuming the way that we consume. It's like, we gotta stop consumerism. I mean, consumerism is broken. And I'm not saying that communism is the fix, but we got to start thinking more realistically about what it is that we are consuming and how we're consuming it. Not just on the internet, but also physically in the real world, And so anyhow, I haven't dropped a read in a little while. I haven't dropped nothing in a little while. And so I figured I'd make this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe, you guys. Keep me motivated. I appreciate some of the connections that we built out here. I would like to keep that real. I would like to keep coming back here and doing this. I enjoy it and everything. I'm trying to figure out what direction to go with it, and what kind of format to use, And so I will be back at the table. I will be pulling some more coin. I might go back, might do some lives or whatever again, but the energies on the lives kind of freaked me out, kind of tripped me out a little bit, But I'm pretty shy, pretty sensitive, I can feel it. It's a lot. It's hard for me just to even go to the grocery store, And so, anyways, kind of rambling, but anyhow, that's what it is. with these energies, you know, like, you guys pay attention. There's a lot of lies out here. That King of Swords is just like, dude, Empress and that Queen of Swords, Empress in the reverse, King of Swords, and the Death card, you know, Seven of Cups in the reverse, okay? They're throwing a lot of baloney at us right now. And so we got to focus on ourselves, like really right now, deeply. I'm going deep inside myself. I've been really trying to really focused on like creating that safe place inside of myself. Because that's, like I said, I've been reflecting a lot on the Two of Cups energy, you know, and that Two of Cups, it's about self-reflection, you know. It's about having keeping yourself safe right now, because we really have to protect ourselves right now from a lot of the crazy stuff that we're being bombarded by. We really are. I think that people are not really able to trust even their own shadows anymore. You know, I've talked to my brothers and stuff up in Oregon, and you know, up there even, and a lot of crazy stuff is happening, you know. And so it's like, I'm with y'all. I'm praying for y'all. I'm out here on Spiritual Ranch. It's not fair for me to bitch, you know, or like, because I'm not in it. They really have set me aside, you know, and I've been really blessed for that. And like, I'm just trying to learn what it is that they're asking me to do right now. And because if I do ever come out of hermitage, I don't know. But I'm doing my work out here, okay? Staying prayed up, praying for you guys. I'm going to keep praying for everybody, you know, and talking to God and keeping it real, you know. And so I love y'all, you know. I do. I love everybody. I love y'all. I feel like the world's gotten very distant from me right now. That's very strange, you know. It's very strange. Very strange being so isolated, and then trying to dabble with the like the YouTube and everything, because it's just so weird. It's so weird, you know. Hard to explain. But anyhow, I'm gonna roll this up here. I'm gonna get home and cook some dinner, and till next time. Hopefully this is good. I hope everybody's doing well. To one member in the collective, yeah, here's your read, bitch. You know who I'm talking to. And so yeah, peace out, y'all. Have a good one. Hey, and the beast is flailing right now. They really are. You know, we're all ascending, and we're seeing through it, you know. And so we gotta trust ourselves. That we have to continue to we gotta keep it real right now. We gotta really focus on what's real. We gotta preserve what's real. We gotta like get our hands dirty, you know, you guys, or else we're not gonna have anything to give to the future generations. You know, it's all gonna get thrown into. It's all gonna get downloaded, and then it's gonna get burned in the digital gulag, because that's what they've already done with a lot of the books, you know. And so they're gonna burn all of our knowledge and enslave us, and then our children are gonna be incapable, you know, and we can't have that. We gotta be careful about that. So I'm here for y'all. We're here, right? God loves you. Stay powerful. Stay prayed up. You know, we want to thank you, God. Say thank you, God. Thank you, Father God, for the direction, for leading and guiding us. You know, giving us everything that you do, Father God. Giving us your love, giving us your strength. You know, and for hearing us when we pray for you. You know, and I ask that we ask Father God, you know, keep everybody safe, right? Keep you all protected. And we ask Father God to protect, keep your headspaces safe, you know. We really do right now, because it's hard out there, we know. It's challenging, you know. And so send y'all prayers of strength, of love, prosperity, hope, you know, peace, everything, all of that, kindness, you know. You know, Jah love, man. We're all out here. We're in this together, you know. It's like one love, one light, you know. And we just got to rise up. We got to stand up. We got to stay prayed up. We got to let God lead, you know. And so I love y'all. Peace out, right?